Will you write to me? Do you promise?
I promise.
Tenzing! Hillary!
Teji Tenzing. We might be buggered.
So, how did it go?
Oh, George. We knocked the bastard off. I've had lots of ideas for some time now about us, Wiz. And my main job will be to try and persuade you to agree to some of them. I wonder what my chances are.
This morning, the most wonderful news from Nepal. The British Everest expedition, led by Colonel John Hunt, has put 2 men onto the summit of Mount Everest, the world's highest mountain, for the very first time. At 11:30 a.m., a Sherpa, Tenzing Norgay, and a New Zealander, a beekeeper.
He did it! What? He did it! He bloody did it! Did what? He got to the top! Oh my God! Oh my God!
아주 답라 sergichadan tak tungsun.
Chammatom. Takmatom. Nie pilorumbo wanda tungsun.
펠라 롱보 고네 통수 하고 송아. 니들 한번 충수. 어디 한번 충수.
You almost killed him. Getting to the top like that, you thoughtless bastard. Excitement was too much for him. Completely done in. I've had to sedate him. He'll be fine.
Hello, Wiz. Haven't much to report, because I haven't done anything since coming off the mountain. Except sleep and dream of you.
I have mail! Is there an Edmund Percival Hillary, Knight Commander of the British Empire in the house?
Huh. You're off the grass, George.
You got a gong, mate. You've been knighted.
You're joking.
Arise, Sir Edmund.
Nobody bloody asked me.
Don't get you in a tangle. What's the problem?
Now I can't walk around South Auckland with my backside hanging out my strides. I have to get some new overalls.
Percival, you kept that quiet. Tenzing, eh? Weren't you involved in some small way?
Huh.
I don't know about Tenzing, but I think they really captured you, Ed. Looks good. Got the nose right, at least.
Climbing this jolly mountain seems to have created a bit of a stir, Wiz. Understandably, the Nepalese are making a huge fuss of Tenzing. They seem to think he climbed Everest all by himself. Tell you the truth, it's getting a little tiresome.
No, thank you. That is all, gentlemen, please. Thank you. We will answer your questions at another point.
Tenzing did not get to the top first.
No. No. I'm saying that when you share a rope, these differentiations are irrelevant to climbing.
Colonel Hunt, Tenzing has signed a sworn document saying that he reached the top first.
Is that true? Excuse me. As Tenzing can neither read nor write, I would discount that story. That is all. Thank you all for coming, gentlemen. Thank you. No, thank you. We will answer your questions at a later point. Gentlemen, please. No, thank you. Please. Excuse me. Would you please let these men are very, very tired. They must get some rest. Please, do not make me repeat.
Well, I think we both know that was bull.
I have nothing to say.
Ralph Izzard. Little Bird told me it was you who reached the top first.
If you don't mind.
Well, the Daily Mail will pay you £10,000 for an exclusive interview telling your side of the story.
You know I'm contractually obligated to the Times.
Well, the Daily Mail thought that £10,000 might help ease your conscience.
I ought to knock your teeth down your throat.
What's going on? What does he want?
Nothing. Mr. Izzard was just leaving.
Nothing.
Dear Wiz, you'll never believe where I am. Buckingham Palace. At the investiture. Incredible. I feel a little bit out of place. It's a bit different from the Tuakau pub, I can tell you that. I'm missing you, sweetheart. I wish you were here. I'll see you soon.
Housekeeping.
I have more than enough towels, thank you, George.
So, any more marriage proposals?
10. One lady sent through a photograph of herself stark naked, saying if I wasn't interested, could I please return the photo?
And?
I returned the photo, George.
I could have done with that.
I think I can handle another glass of champagne, and if I see another bowl of caviar, I think I'm going to be sick.
Hey, who's this Wiz then?
I don't think you'd know her.
Really? It's a coincidence, because she has the exact same address as Louise Rose. You dark horse, Ed. You know, I had designs on her.
Yeah, I know you bloody did.
So what's your plan?
I'm not sure if there is one.
Good-o. Great.
What's on your mind, Ed?
I've been invited to go on a worldwide lecture tour, which raises a few problems. Can I have another biscuit, Jim? I've formed quite an attachment to your daughter.
Yes?
And I'd like to marry her and take her around the world with me.
Well, why don't you ask her?
I couldn't. What if she didn't want to? Very embarrassing for her.
Would you like me to ask her for you?
Could you?
Hello?
Hello, darling.
Hi, Mum.
How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Now, I've got Ed here.
Oh.
And he wants to marry you and take you around the world. So, what do you think of that?
Yes. Tell him yes.
Ed. She says yes. Oh, come and have a few words to your fiancé.
I couldn't, it's a toll call.
Ed?
Hello, Wiz.
I love you.
That pretty much sums up how I feel about the situation. I love you too.
Edmund and Louise have given themselves to each other with solemn vows and have declared their marriage by joining hands in giving and receiving of rings. They are now husband and wife. Let no one come between those whom God has joined together. So may the power of God keep you, the love of God be in your life and work together, the grace of God strengthen your love, that it may endure forever. Amen.
Amen.
Ed, you may kiss your bride.
Excuse me, everybody. If I could just have your attention for a moment. Hello. My name is George Lowe. I'm the best man. Thank you all for coming. Lovely to see you here. So, Ed and I spent a lot of time together on various mountains. In a tent. We talked about everything under the sun. But the cunning devil, he never mentioned Louise. And I think it's because he wanted to keep her all to himself. And who can blame him? You see, because while Ed's dad may have taught him everything he needs to know about the bees, there are a certain few things that he has yet to learn about the birds. Everybody,
Louise, you complete me, and you make me the happiest man alive. And so with that, I think I should sit down.
I must admit, I had dreamed and hoped for a very long time that Ed might propose to me. I hadn't realised that it would be my mother that would do the asking when the time came. But despite that, he's made me very, very happy. And I look forward to all the highs and lows that we will climb together.
Sir Edmund, if I could start with you. What does it feel like to have conquered Everest?
I don't think we actually conquered Everest. I prefer to think that the mountain relented.
What do you think is the single most important lesson climbing has taught you?
The most important lesson would be aim high. There is little virtue in an easy victory. There were 10 other exceptional climbers. They were part of the expedition, and without them, neither Tenzing nor myself would have stepped foot on the summit.
May I ask, what was the most frightening part of the climb?
Well, the approach to the south summit was pretty hairy. A thin crust of ice over unstable snow made up the slope, and it appeared that at any stage the whole shebang could slip off down 12,000 feet into Tibet, take us with it. It's moments like that where you think you shouldn't push on, but I thought to myself, Ed, my boy, this is Everest. You should push on. So I pushed on.
My word. Inspiring.
My dear, your husband is a star. Everything is about to change for the pair of you. You mark my words, every man and his dog will be after a piece of Ed.
Well, let's hope so.
Ed, if I can tear you away from your adoring public for just a sec. There's someone I'd like you to meet. His name's Bunny Fuchs. He's a geologist and a polar explorer and has a proposition for you.
We have another public engagement in 2 hours, George. How far away is he?
It's close. Won't take long. Come on, I'll pay for the cab.
Pay for the cab? George, are you coming down with something?
Antarctica. Bigger than all of Europe, the Mediterranean, and North Africa combined. The most inhospitable, coldest, windiest landscape on Earth. It is my intention to drive a fleet of vehicles across this last frontier, starting at a base here on the Weddell Sea coast, through the Ferrer Glacier, across the polar plateau to the South Pole, then all the way over to McMurdo Sound on the opposite side of the continent, which, as you know, is part of the Ross Sea dependency, which belongs to New Zealand. There will be 2 journeys. The first will be to set up a supply base in Vashel Bay, where we leave some men to winter over to build huts, and then the following Antarctic summer, the expedition proper will occur. A journey of 2,000 miles. Across unknown, treacherous terrain.
And I'd be doing what?
Well, to achieve this, we need your government and the people of New Zealand to support us.
Fundraising.
Well, you are the ideal man to get your country behind this venture.
Do you mind if I sleep on it? We better be getting back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
No.
I can't believe it. I thought you'd jump at the chance.
He only wants to use Ed's name.
That's a pity. I'm going. I'm the official photographer. And the interpreter of New Zealand messages.
Go for it, George. He seems a determined character. I just can't say that I want to.
Well, he's not trying to sell you a vacuum cleaner.
I know, he wants Ed to do the selling.
The long tradition of heroic suffering and noble failure in Antarctica has never had much appeal to me, George.
Well, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Well, Ed will have plenty of opportunities. He'll be offered directorships. He's going to have to be careful about who he allows to use his name.
Liz. Anything interesting?
Usual autograph requests. And, oh, well, you've been invited to judge the best debutante at the country ball.
Let's have a look at that one.
I think we'll put that in the no pile. Oh, well, this could be the job offer of your dreams.
Yeah?
No. Cold calling insurance, commission only.
Well, that's not exactly what Sir John had in mind.
Well, it does leave this. It's a letter from the National Party. Their candidate pre-selection meeting is next Saturday.
How are you talking to this?
Well, you know, you could make a real difference in New Zealand politics. And it would be a regular income.
Oh. We live in a world of haves and have-nots. When I get to Parliament, my first priority will be to get the government to increase foreign aid to poorer countries in Africa and in the South Pacific.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Sir Edmund. Certainly food for thought there. We'll get in touch if you make the list for candidate selection. Good luck.
Thank you. I should never have allowed my name to go forward. It's as low as you can go, being rejected for a job you didn't want in the first place.
Things will look up.
Will they?
Dear Ed, it's finally happening! Exclamation mark. The Trans-Antarctica expedition is going ahead, and Her Majesty's government has approved the funding. All we need now is for someone to run the New Zealand end of things. I would dearly love you, Ed, to take charge of the Ross Sea support team and be my deputy leader. All the best, so on and so forth. What do you think?
You're making a mistake, Bunny. The press will make a huge fuss of him. He'll hog all the publicity.
He's not in the crossing party. Relax.
It hasn't come to that, surely.
I'm going back to Everest. I'm going to climb it from the north, and I'm going to do it without oxygen. George and I have talked about this, and we reckon it can be done.
Yeah,
now, just think about it. I'll be the first to climb it from the north, and I'll be the first to do it without oxygen.
But, Ed, George isn't available, is he? He'll be crossing Antarctica with Fuchs.
Fuchs. Antarctica. Fuchs.
Just listen. I would dearly love you to take charge of the Ross Sea support team, Ed, and be my deputy leader. That's a step up from fundraising. Ed, it's quite an honour.
I would be away for 2 whole summers and an Antarctic winter. How are you going to cope?
Mum and Dad are next door, so I won't be on my own. Look, I know you want to go. And to be honest, I can't stand having you moping around here much longer. Just write to Fuchs.
Well, Bunny may want me. Our government will have other ideas.
Oh, nonsense. You'd be perfect.
I'm not convinced Hillary is the right man for the job. Sure, he's a hero and he's a popular choice, but in the final analysis, he's got, well, no administrative or scientific experience. He's just a beekeeper. I've been on 2 Himalayan expeditions with him. He can be very headstrong and will do things his own way.
Bunny wants him. Whitehall wants him. He's building a base and laying a fuel dump 100 miles inland. That's all. We're going to have to bite the bullet, I'm afraid, gents. Send him in, Colin.
Next spring, Dr. Fuchs will be sailing south to set up a base on the Vashel coast. Now, he has suggested that you might like to join him on that voyage to the Weddell Sea.
Good idea. I'd love to.
You would be there as an observer, to look and learn. You understand?
Of course.
Now, this is not your show, Ed. It's Bunny's. You're simply there to gain experience and to establish a good working relationship with Fuchs. Now, were that not to happen, we may have to find someone else to lead the Ross Sea support team.
Hey, Wiz. We are on our way. Deep in the Weddell Sea. The supply drop for next year's expedition is going to be challenging. Bunny's an interesting chap. I'm not sure we have a lot in common, though.
Has Bunny spoken to you about the route we're taking in?
Bunny's not what you'd call a chatterbox. Thank you.
Thank you.
He hasn't spoken to me about anything much.
Well, he believes if we take a direct route straight down the middle of the Weddell Sea, we'll find open water free of ice sheets. I mean, if he's right, we could be unloading gear in the Vashel coast in 2 weeks' time.
And if he's wrong?
Only 2 ships have ever taken this route before. They were both crushed to matchwood. We should be heading down the Cairn coast, which is ice-free. It's a detour, sure. It would take longer, but it's less of a gamble.
Important at the base bit.
Bunny, do you mind if we have a word?
If you don't mind, Ed, we're in the middle of a planning meeting.
Planning meeting? Nobody told me.
Well, that is correct. No one told you because the meeting doesn't concern you. You were brought on this trip as an observer, to look and to learn and familiarize yourself with ice.
It's going to concern me, Bunny, if we get trapped in the ice.
I've been planning this expedition for years, and I'm confident that my plans will be successful. Now, if you don't mind, we have a lot to get through. All righty, so, the base. Well, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time. So...
Ed, wait. Sorry about Bunny, he wasn't like that in London. He'll come down. I think he might be a bit intimidated by you. God knows why, most people I know feel vastly superior to you.
Geez, what the hell's up with your strides? They're huge.
Ah, yes, Bunny doesn't believe in individual tailoring, so it's bulk plot. One size.
And let me guess, Bunny's.
Yep.
It's Ed.
Oh.
He's calling from the Theron.
Oh, okay, coming.
Who's that?
Is that Daddy?
Who's that? Who's that?
Ed? Hi, how are you?
Good. All the better for hearing your voice. How is everybody?
Oh, I'm missing you like crazy, of course, but we're fine. Hey, where are you now?
The Weddell Sea. I'm in the Antarctic Circle. The sun circles around the horizon permanently. It's bizarre.
Wow.
There's so much light, but the sea almost looks black.
Sounds quite beautiful. Oh, would you like to say hello to your son?
Is he there?
He is. He's just coming. Here we are. Talk to Daddy. Talk to Daddy.
Hello, Peter. It's your dad. Do you know what I've seen? I saw a giant iceberg out in the water. And I've seen an albatross. It's a big bird.
It's gone all quiet, Ed.
Yes.
Ed?
You realise this is our first Christmas apart, Wiz?
Yeah, I know. That's all right, we'll have plenty more.
Sorry, Wiz, someone else needs to use the RT. I have to go.
Of course. All right, I love you. Bye.
I love you too.
Bloody hell! The stern's as stuck fast as the bow.
The ice is constantly moving, right? So it could part and set us free.
It could. Or wind, tide and currents could pile even heavier pack ice against us. The Theron's a sturdy girl, Ed, but she wasn't built to withstand that sort of pressure. We will be crushed.
Let's break out the crowbars, axes and shovels, George. Let's see if we can shift some of this stuff.
Excellent.
Because I think it's going to beat sitting around on our bums.
Even though we're out of the ice, we've still wasted the best days of summer battling our way north when we should have been heading south. Winter's not far away and the weather is deteriorating hourly.
We still have time to build Shackleton's base, right?
Let's hope so. The clock is against us. Now, when we berth, it's imperative that we unload quickly and efficiently before storms hit.
And if it hits while we're unloading?
I shall sound 3 warning blasts on the ship's siren. You have 10 minutes to get back on board before we put to sea and ride it out in safer waters.
What if we're more than 10 minutes away?
Then you're buggered.
Move immediately to the best shelter you can find and await our return. Hopefully, you won't have to wait long.
Ed! Oi, Ed!
Now, who's the genius that stowed the tractors at the bottom of the hull? Because we're going to have to unload everything before anything can be towed to safety.
Think pack ice and massive icebergs are drifting this way, Bunny. We are leaving.
But we haven't
Get
finished.
everyone who's going ashore
We need
off
more
right now.
time, please.
You have 1 hour. Then I'm taking my ship out of here.
Holy.
Get as much stuff off the boat as you can, and anybody who's staying on the ice is getting off! I'm beginning to wish I hadn't come at all, Wiz. It was heartbreaking pulling away from the ice shelf, leaving the wintering over party behind with only half their supplies. A hut not built, winter's fast approaching. Feel for the poor devils. Their wives and families would be mortified, Wiz, if they saw what their husbands and sons had to endure.
I don't know if I want to hear this.
Bunny's got a lot to answer for, Wiz.
I feel dreadful for the chaps we left behind, Eleanor. Their stove was ruined in the storms.
You mustn't keep torturing yourself, Bunny.
The poor devils had no way of making fresh bread. It would be a dreadful blow to morale.
Stop blaming yourself, Bunny. You had a dreadful run of luck with the weather.
True. But as leader, I must take ultimate responsibility.
Stop it, Bunny. Stop it. And listen to this. It's from the palace. Congratulations on the completion of the first part of your expedition. I have been following your adventure with great interest, and we're all delighted at your success. Please send my best wishes to all members of your expedition. Elizabeth R.
She actually wrote that for us.
She did. And you heard what she said, Bunny. Success.
Success.
I've missed you. It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
I'm not sure I want you to go away again. I know you have to.
Yeah, well, that might not be the case. Not going back to be Bunny's bunny. If the Ross Sea Committee don't let me run my own show, then I'm quitting. Not putting our guys at risk. And of course, could be music to their ears. The Palm stuffed up everything they touched. And we can't afford to follow their example. Bunny's plans for the Ross Sea support team. We need to start again from scratch. Any base we build has to be made from materials that can last forever and can be assembled in days. I want every member of my team to be familiar with snow and ice. Bunny has allocated us 1 tractor. I'd like to take a further 3 and modify them to work further afield than Scott Base. We need to establish a permanent foothold in Antarctica, or we're in danger of surrendering our sovereignty to the Yanks. This isn't just about British prestige, gentlemen. We get 1 shot at this. Yes, we need to support the polar crossing, sure. But more importantly, we need to make our country proud. Sometimes I wonder what possesses me to do this. What makes me abandon my beautiful family for 2 summers and 1 whole Antarctic winter? I'll miss Sarah's first steps and 2 of Peter's birthdays. Most of all, Wiz, I will miss falling asleep in your arms. I need my head read. If there's one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make this count.
This program is available on DVD. To order, visit shop.pbs.org or call 1-800-PLAY-PBS. Also available for download on iTunes.